Independent nation, free civil rights, happy livelihood. These words, they're so much more than just a slogan, right? They're a promise. And today we're going to look at how that very promise is being tested in a place that, well, it matters most, our schools. So, this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about. As we look ahead to 2026, we have to ask a really important question. Is education still that golden ticket, that gateway to opportunity for everyone, or is it slowly turning into a wall, a barrier that you can only get past if you have enough money? I mean, just think about it for a second. The first day of school. It's supposed to be this moment of pure excitement and possibility. It's a child's first real step into a huge new world of learning. It's a moment that should be filled with hope, not stress and anxiety. But for a lot of parents in Hanoi looking toward 2026, that excitement is getting totally overshadowed by a pretty big financial hurdle. We're talking about something called a private school deposit fee. And get this, it's not even for tuition. It's just to hold a spot for their child before a single class even starts. Okay, so what kind of money are we actually talking about here? Well, for many of these private schools, you're looking at a deposit somewhere between 5 and 20 million Vietnamese dong. Now, that is a serious amount of cash for any family to come up with upfront, especially when it's just for the chance to get a seat. And believe it or not, it doesn't even stop there. In some cases, that number it skyrockets. Take a look at this. One school is apparently charging a jaw-dropping 113.6 million dong. Let that sink in for a moment. That isn't tuition. That is just the deposit for first grade. All right, let's look at some real-world examples, because this is where it gets really interesting. You can see the huge range we're dealing with. It starts at a more manageable $2 million at FPT school. Then you see it jump to $12 million at Newton, $23 million at Archimedes, and then you see that massive outlier, Dwight School Hanoi, at over $113 million. This isn't just theory, right? These are actual numbers that thousands of parents are staring at. Okay, so seeing all of this, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? When the price just to get your foot in the door is this steep, you have to ask, who really benefits from a system like this? And maybe even more importantly, who's getting left behind before they even get a chance to start? And this is where we have to zoom out and talk about something really fundamental, the right to an equal education. Look, this isn't just some feel-good, nice-to-have idea. It is a core civil right. It means learning should be available to everyone, universally. It's supposed to be a public good, not some luxury item that only the wealthy can afford. So what we're really seeing here is a clash between two totally different ways of thinking about education. On one hand, you've got this view that education is basically a product, a commodity. It has a price tag, and families have to run the numbers like they're buying a car. But on the other hand, you have this core value, the idea that a child's potential, the true value of learning, just can't be measured by how big of a check you can write for a deposit. So where do we go from here? Well, it actually brings us right back to where we started, to those foundational principles. An independent nation, that means having an education system that works for everyone. Free civil rights, that means every single child gets a shot at going to school. And happy livelihood, that's pretty tough to achieve when education becomes a massive financial burden instead of a right that lifts you up. And really, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The ultimate goal, the big takeaway here, is so simple but so powerful. Education has to be for the people. As we all work towards a better future, probably the most important promise we can ever make is to make sure that no one, not a single child, gets left behind.